Welcome to this week's news without the bullshit. Let's get started. The United States President and the leader of North Korea met in the capital of Vietnam this week to discuss the terms of North Korean nuclear disarmament. No compromise could be made on the issue, and nothing was achieved. The South Korean presidential office stated that the two leaders have made more meaningful progress than any time prior. A tense situation has broken out between India and Pakistan this week, which involves an ever-unfolding story, multiple conflicting sources, and a history of bitter tension that has existed for over 70 years. The complexity of the circumstances subjects this narrative to bias, but here's a summary stitched together from the many accounts of the situation. The Pakistan military shot down at least one Indian Air Force jet after they had flown into Pakistan-controlled airspace. The Pakistani military captured an Indian pilot in the conflict, but was later released in what was described as a gesture of peace. The strike seemed to be retaliation for a recent terrorist attack on Indian territory by an organization operating inside of Pakistan. Indian officials claimed they had targeted a terrorist training camp. However, a Pakistan Armed Forces spokesman said the jets bombed an empty forested area. The Pakistani Prime Minister claimed this attack was purely politically driven in order to gain favor with the Indian public before an upcoming election, although this is impossible to confirm or disprove at this time. There are a number of conflicting reports on the incident, which include the type of aircraft that were involved and the total number of pilots captured. The two countries have been engaging in cross-border shelling since the incident, with at least 8 confirmed casualties. India and Pakistan have fought 3 wars since 1947, all of which were over the Kashmir region, which borders the two countries, in which both nations claim full ownership. World leaders have cautioned about the prospect of another war, especially when both nations are in possession of over 100 nuclear weapons. At the same time, the Canadian government has committed to a $1.4 billion contribution to NASA this week for a proposed space station that will orbit the moon. The station is expected to be completed by 2026 and will host astronauts and act as a habitat for conducting various experiments. Meanwhile, in Kangaroo Land, the Australian government uses climate change funding to upgrade coal-based power plants, and the country's most famous Catholic official was found guilty of what you would expect. Moving on, the entire staff of 3 fast food stores quit after having their wages reduced to $4 an hour. Essential oils failed to save someone's life, and a man, wrongfully sentenced for 39 years, receives a payout of $21 million. In technology, Facebook doesn't think data privacy is important. TikTok is fined $5.7 million for collecting data from children, and Fortnite creator Epic Games has been sued by a parent over loot boxes. Meanwhile, 1TB SD cards will be available in April. Tesla will mostly be selling cars online, and research suggests that the best way to reduce online piracy is to offer better alternatives to the practice. In entertainment, Mr. Bean receives a Diamond Play button. Warner Brothers will focus on more individual superhero movies. Edge of Tomorrow is getting a sequel, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine has been renewed for a 7th season. In other news, a 30 million page knowledge archive is being sent to space, and Plague Incorporated developers plan to add an anti-vaccination game mode.